Well, first and foremost, first position really is a user-friendly position. When you're in creep, the stimulation zones, for example, the medial epicondyle, the humerus, and the calcaneus are distant from each other. And as a single practitioner, applying your stimulation to those 2 points, which are very powerful, together is very difficult just because of the length and distance apart. But if you get into first position, where first position is you're sitting on your heels, knees and hips are in full flexion, and you're loading one arm with your head turned that way to give us our face side and our occipital side, it's very easy to access a calcaneus and a medial epicondyle. It's very easy to access a calcaneus and a acromion. It's very easy to access all the musculature, all the zones, all the stimulations that we need to address with reflex locomotion. So first and foremost, it is a great starting position for a lot of different cases and for a lot of different conditions that we see. The strength of first position is really its ability to address the sacroiliac joint, the reflex locomotion position. Its strength is in addressing the femoroacetabular joint, where first position is going to get the sacroiliac joint. It's wonderful for addressing the pelvic floor. Reflex creep is nice for addressing half the pelvic floor. First position influences all the pelvic floor. In first position with stimulation, you get nutation of the sacrum, and as you get nutation of the sacrum, you get activation of the piriformis, and the activation of the piriformis, it's stretching on the pelvic floor, activates the pelvic floor. So a very good position for the pelvic floor. It's a very good position for spinal elongation. As we take the sacrum into nutation and we get elongation, it allows for, again, that longitudinal elongation, which is that decompression, that opening up of the spine, which then allows restoration of rotation, which inhibits the lateral flexion, all those compensatory reactions that we get. It's also very good for cervical rotation. In first position, we don't have as much of a rotational action occurring, but we have more of a forward verticalization action occurring. We're going to go from a one-arm support into a two-arm support, into up on elbows, eventually up on hands, a stepping forward action, a loading of two extremity action, and then an upright movement. So the movement of first position is very much an artificially evoked position, but it takes us through half kneeling. It takes us through loading of one foot. It takes us through the chain reaction that occurs when we are supporting on our elbow or supporting on our hands, and our rhomboids are activating while we're also stepping, as we have the 1 foot down, so we can influence the rhomboid and the rhomboid's role in stepping. So first position has a lot of great value. Easy to access the zones, easy to apply the therapy. It's tolerance to the patient as how long they can be in that position, but there are modifications.